Hi guys, Mr. Sheep here, and today I'm gonna give you one of the most important lessons for you. It's not about shredding, it's not about scales, but it's about one of the most important things that a guitarist should have. It's about vibrato. Uh, if you think of the all good guitarists, not all the good guitarists play fast. Not all good guitarists have nice tone for everyone. Not all good guitarists play smart scales and smart chords, but all the good guitarists have a good vibrato. The vibrato is one of the most personal thing that a guitarist have, because there are not two players with the same vibrato. It's like your trademark in sound comes from your bending and from your vibrato. Also your emotions are transmitted with the notes, of course, but also with the vibrato. When you play a phrase, you end it with a vibrato. If you play something like, sorry, it sounds dull. If you play it like, there are two major ways to do vibrato. It's one is the blues vibrato and the other is the rock vibrato. If you think as the blues vibrato is very fast, but it's not very big as a tone. I mean, if you play a blues vibrato, it's like, it's very fast, but its frequency, it's not exceeding like a quarter of a tone. If you do a Zakk Wylde vibrato, it's more like, so the rock vibrato is not that fast. It has like 3 to 4 cycles of vibrato, but it's wider. Sometimes it's like a semitone, sometimes it's a tone. If you're Zakk Wylde, it's a tone and a half. There are many guitarists that I've seen, they have a bad vibrato because they are not using the right muscles to do it. So let me show you. For instance, let's bend the G string, bend the G string, on 5th fret, this C note, and I will tell you some ways of how not to do vibrato. For instance, you are not supposed to use the finger, because the muscle of your finger it's not as strong as your entire forearm. So if you do this is not very good. It's sometimes I hear it's called like clitoris vibrato. If you do like, that's not proper vibrato. To do it properly, you have to hold the guitar firmly, like you hold like a baseball bat, and you only use your fingers like to have a grip. So you grip, you hold the string, you're not using the finger to move it, and you move your entire forearm like this. You're not doing, not like that. So the movement is not downwards, is like going in that direction. It's like you try to open a door. It's like this. Try to open the door. Like, and the good way to exercise it is first you hit this note, then you hit the other one near it, and you try to reach that note like 4 or 5 times, or depending on how fast your vibrato you want to be. You go further. If you play on the first 4 strings, like E, A, D, and G, you do the vibrato downwards. If you're doing it on B and high E, you must do it upwards. Like now you're trying to lift it up. Otherwise, if you're doing vibrato downwards, you'll end up like, and you don't want that. If you want to do a massive vibrato on the B string, you don't want that. No, that's bad. So that's why you push it upwards. Also, if you hear, there is some noise other than the note I play. One of the most useful tricks that I've learned is when you do a vibrato or a bend, to try to mute the string above. So for instance, if I play a vibrato on a B string, see, you get this, you mute with the right hand, you rest your pick on the string above. So okay, so a simple exercise for you is just take every note, you take this note, then this is your reference, and then you do next one, next one, next one, then you do it on the B string. The thing is, it's not very important to do a vibrato, a semitone wide vibrato, but it's important for you to get used to do the vibrato in the same spot. So if you have this target note, then you get used to do this and not. That's wrong. The note must go. For instance, you have like a point where your vibrato must not exceed that point. It must not go over this note. So don't do that. Also, I've just presented only first finger vibrato. You can do vibrato with second finger, you can do vibrato with your third finger. Some people do it with their fourth finger. I'm not using that. I think the pinky is quite weak to do a vibrato. The pinky is good for stretching, to play like fast stuff, but for vibrato, first 3 fingers. I mean, mostly 1 and 3. I prepare my third finger for a good vibrato because I also do bending with the third finger. So the same, if you try third finger vibrato, this is your note. And also, if you do a third finger vibrato, you're not doing it just like that with the third finger alone. You use the other 2 on the same string, and the motion is the same. You move the forearm. This entire muscle is involved in your vibrato. Is not the finger, not like that. It's like this. It's like there is a face right here, and you're trying to hit that face, smash that guy. You fuck off, you fucking shit, you fuck, go away. That's it. Go fucking go away. And this finger is not letting you. It's like a friend that says, "Don't hit him, don't hit him. No, stop. Be cool, be cool." It is very good when you get a little familiar with the vibrato, is to use it after every lick you do, after every scale you practice. It's, for instance, you have something like a simple pentatonic descending line like sorry. So, or if you play a scale like another important thing is when you start to do the vibrato. It's very nice to leave the sound just a little bit and then add vibrato to the sound. It's not like you do it. See, if you start do vibrato on the attack of the note, it sounds like a dying ship. Not me, just a normal ship, regular stupid ship that dies when it's supposed to be killed. So don't do this. No, it's not nice. Just hit the note and then add vibrato. So leave it a little bit to ring and then so this is only the vibrato tutorial. There will be also a bending tutorial. That's another video. I hope you practice this a lot, because once you get this, it will never leave you. I mean, it will be with you for the rest of your life. If you practice speed shredding and you stop playing guitar, you need to get in shape back. But with vibrato, once you learn it, it's yours. Master it, and then you'll have it with you always. It's the thing. I mean, if you go to a pub and there is a guitarist playing there, and then you hear that he's over bending or his vibrato is out of tune, and you do so you don't want to be one of those guys. You just practice this with a lot of rigorosity and try to get a very good vibrato. Mr. Sheep here, my job is done for today. See you. Don't forget to subscribe. Otherwise you'll be the dying sheep. Bye.